Hello and welcome back. So it's been twice as long as I expected to come back, but everything's been happening. I've had my operation now and I've had sort of 3 weeks to recover. I'm now up and about walking again without too much discomfort. So everything went well there. So here we are in the shower room of my dad's, which is completed. Hello doggies. Completed apart from the glass which needs to go in, and I just need one little pipe to connect the system to the supply, and apart from that is absolutely done. Through here, as you can see, all the flooring is done, which is sort of one of the big things we wanted done before everything else, which is unusual to do that, but we want to be able to live in here for a little while whilst the rest of the house is being done. So we've put it in a state where we can at least, put beds and stuff in here for the time being. Obviously all these wall sockets and stuff just can go back on. I was just doing a bit of taping and jointing when I had some spare time when the weather was bad, just to fill the time, but it doesn't really matter at the moment because it's not going to be finally decorated for a while. Right, Bailey? Good boy. So in here, we are now beginning to move sort of my wife and children's computers, and all of her sort of craft and office stuff is now going to be moved into here. The kitchen space there will be left alone. The kitchen is sat in storage, being very kindly held by Wix until we are ready. There's absolutely no pressure or time limit on them as to when they deliver it. So we bought all that during the Easter sale and saved a lot of money doing it that way. But this is just sat here waiting for all the kitchen to come and be fitted. So Laura said she might be up for doing it herself. We'll see. If her and some of my boys are teenagers now, well, soon about to become teenagers. The youngest is about to turn 13, and the oldest about to become 16. So I think between them they might be able to fit a kitchen. So we'll see. If they think they're up to it, we'll let them have a go. All the lights and everything, I suppose you haven't seen any of this because it's been a while, but yeah, I've done all the lights, and my electrician guy I went to school with came and I did all the first fix. He came and fitted the consumer unit, and also I had the electricity board come round and remove all the old three-phase stuff that was for the old heating that was here before we owned the house. But he ripped all that out and put an isolator in, so we can now safely shut off the house, and it's also allowed us to put in the second consumer unit ourselves without needing the electricity board to do that. So Loon, you look out, good girl. So there we go, the house is hooked up on electricity there. I think last time we spoke I had the phone line installed. However, we needed to still move the original phone line to join it on the same connection. So we had that removed, and now they both connect to the same place. And we also took the opportunity to fit all of the new fascia to the front of the house and the gutter, so that is all now a fully functioning gutter and everything on the front. So the front of the thing is all happy. The only thing we haven't done, we put the doorstep in, but we haven't built this bed here yet. I just put in the foundation just so we can do like a mini brick wall front bed on there. Everything else is working absolutely fine. Good girl. And the other thing I did, got a bit interesting with the old lights. This is actually an LED light with a remote control. My dad had a thing in his old place. He used to have a red bulb in one of his rooms for, sitting in a dark room. And we got this. Oh, there we go. So this light actually does cycle through the full RGB. And it even has a nighttime mode, which I really like. There we go. We've got a 30-minute timer that will turn it off. We've got very bright, and then not so bright, and then where's the nighttime? Oh, there it is, nighttime mode. So barely any light at all, but if you're getting up in the night to go to the loo, that's perfect. So really happy with that. And it works off the wall switch, and it remembers what it has been set to. I've got a vent and light attached to the same switch in here, and the fan has the isolator on the outside, and we've got a mirror there which also has a light built into it that works off the wall switch, but if you don't want it on, you don't have to have it on, so I've got it switched off at the moment. And then also the towel rail is electric with an outside isolator and a light on there, and it takes about 5 minutes to get warm, but it actually gets pretty hot, and then it would actually be enough to keep this whole place, you know, the chill out of the whole building, if that was the only thing running. Certainly keep the frost out of here because it's so well insulated. Even on the hottest days so far this year, when you walk in here, it's lovely and cool, like a really regular temperature. And that's because of how much insulation they put in now. It's just crazy how much insulation's gone in. But it's actually very effective. And obviously you have to have all the vents. Every window and door has to have full ventilation now to counteract the insulation for airflow and that sort of thing. But yeah, that's all been good. And the big one out here, the wall's up, completely up. So Charlie, CP Landscapes, done a really awesome job. He's cleared out all the groundwork and put down all the hardcore, put in those drains, you saw all that, but he has now built the full brick raised bed, raised border, and I put this in the other day, which is 1/2, and that's so that I could get rid of the old one here to make room for the scaffolding. That'll be completed and go all the way across and carry that wisteria, so it's like a full backdrop eventually. But up here we now have a full scaffold envelope to keep the weather off. I just need to put some plastic sheeting around the outsides for any sort of sideways driving rain until we get the outside leaf up. But Charlie, who's been helping me, he's on paternity leave at the moment. They just had a little girl, and he's going to come back and help me with block work and that sort of thing. Next Monday is when he comes back. So this week we are clearing out this sort of office here. This is where Laura and the boys are at the moment. We've got to clear this completely out in there because I might as well go up and show you. The existing floor or ceiling, they are ceiling joists at the moment, aren't big enough to become floor joists for their span. So when I went on the span charts and sort of worked it out, they are not suitable to carry the load, so they will have to be replaced as well. Reed Brothers in Norwich are going to come back with easy joists, 2 sets, so one set there that will span those 2 rooms, and then another set here that will span this room, and that'll become a continuous floor. All the rooms up here will be stud walled, so to start with it'll just be a big empty room, one big empty room, but there is one bit of block work we have to do indoors to carry, because there'll be a big cruciform set of girders. That doorway in there will have to be bricked around with a what's the block to carry the girders, the RSJs. So that's the only sort of like structural brickwork that has to be done indoors. The rest of it will all be stud walls. Of course, fun getting up here. We've got our best efforts. There's a bloody dove again. This is their 3rd brood this year, and she's got an egg on there, so I'm not gonna disturb her, but 2 weeks hopefully that'll be fledged out of there, but that's gonna have to come off and we can't stop. So I don't know whether to stop her now before the egg hatches, or seems like the most humane thing to do, so it's a hard one, or just leave them, but then you sort of risk really holding up the work, and I can't have that. Bit tricky. So yeah, it's nice to be up here and have all the scaffolding up, but you do get a little bit of driving rain come through the sides, so we need the plastic. And this here is the wall that needs to go up on the outside. We need to take off all that roof. All this bathroom needs to come out, all that roof needs to come off, all the conservatory needs to come off, and all this roof needs to come off. So we've got a couple of weeks of demolition before we can throw out the outer leaves and make this fully waterproof. But that's the priority, is getting it waterproof, so that in 2 or 3 months this scaffolding can come down again, and then we can just do the internal stuff and it won't be a problem then. So yeah, there we are. I know it's been a while, but things have been happening and I've been out of action quite a lot because of this stupid hernia. But there we go. Until next time.